Hello everyone and welcome to County Perspective. This show focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the Frederick County community. I'm your host Brandon Rosa and thank you for joining us. Now we have a lot to talk about in this episode, so let's begin with the county's budget. Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater announced her proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year, which puts people first. The budget reflects community input from over 1,500 residents who participated in listening sessions, surveys, and an online portal. The proposed budget includes a reduction in income tax rates for vulnerable residents to the lowest allowed by law and maintains the current property tax rate. Fitzwater's budget invests in Frederick County's future with a record $405 million for Frederick County Public Schools, new construction projects, funding to increase affordable housing, and a focus on climate change resilience.
This budget reflects community input, makes smart investments in our people, and I am pleased to submit it to the County Council for consideration. Through this budget, we are making investments that will make Frederick County a great place to live and work where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
The County Council will hold a public hearing on the budget on April 25th at 7 p.m. To view the complete budget, visit frederickcountymd.gov/budget. Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater announced over $1.3 million in awards to 39 local nonprofit organizations through the Community Partnership Grant Program. The grants will provide a wide range of services to the community, including food for children, emergency shelter for victims of domestic violence, respite service for caretakers, job skills and education for youth without stable housing, among others. County Council President Brad Young and Vice President Gavante Duckett joined Executive Fitzwater to unveil the list of grant recipients. Local nonprofits had applied for a total of 51 grants, requesting over $2.1 million. Grant funds are not final until budget passage. For more information, visit frederickcountymd.gov/community partnership grants. A longtime employee of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office has temporarily taken the position of acting sheriff. David Benjamin served as chief deputy under Sheriff Chuck Jenkins. Benjamin takes over delegation of authority from Jenkins following the 5-term sheriff federal indictment regarding the acquisition of machine guns. Jenkins pleaded not guilty to all counts during his arraignment in Baltimore. Acting Sheriff Benjamin, a 37-year veteran of the agency, will oversee the day-to-day operations of the county's chief law enforcement agency and corrections bureaus until the conclusion of the legal process. Beautiful Frederick County has an abundance of farmland and history. Countless historical homes that date back to the Civil War era still stand in rural parts of our community. Now, County Executive Jessica Fitzwater, members from Preservation Maryland, and the County Council recognize the importance of safeguarding Frederick County's history with the establishment of Peace and Plenty, the first locally designated rural historic district in the state of Maryland. Let's find out more.
Our goal in the formation of the Peace and Plenty Rural Historic District is first and foremost to preserve the historic character of the property, even as farmers adjust and modernize their farms to meet future challenges.
The Peace and Plenty Rural Historic District is an area just northeast of Newmarket that encompasses over 1,161 acres of land and includes 9 historic farmsteads and a lime plant. It's a significant linkage of our historic architectural and agricultural heritage in this part of the county.
So the amazing thing about this district is when you look out across the landscape, it's substantially the same as it looked 250 to 300 years ago. The ridges, the ridge tops, the valleys, the streams, the internal road network, the woodlots, all of the features of the landscape are essentially the same today as they were 250 years ago.
This area currently consists of 11 parcels, but prior to that, in the 1740s, this area just made up of 2 large land patents, one in 1740 and the other in 1742. This area attracted English settlers to the area, and we know that John James was one of the earliest to settle in the area in 1740.
The valley was first settled by what came to be known as the rural elite. Lord Baltimore at the time owned all of Maryland, decided to give parcels out to his best friends, his allies, successful people in the community. So it was settled by Englishmen and women who were lawyers, highly educated, businessmen, doctors, elected officials, and so forth.
These early farmers in this district were rural elite farmers who did a lot of tobacco farming, which required enslaved and tenant laborers to work that land because it was so labor intensive. As the Civil War dawned and after the Civil War with emancipation, these farmers then moved into more diversified crops, including wheat and hay and corn, and then as the trend in agriculture moved to dairy, these farms also followed that trend in Frederick County. We are protecting these historic farmsteads in the district from future development activities that might happen. So preserving and designating the properties at the local level gives the property owners the opportunity to apply for a Rural Historic Preservation Grant Program where they can apply to do exterior renovation work on their historic farms, the barns, the houses, etc., that are in their farmsteads. It also gives the opportunity for any insensitive additions or changes that might occur to the property that the Historic Preservation Commission can work with the property owner to make sure the historic character of those properties are not lost.
It means that I can apply for grants in order to restore this property so that it's here for future generations.
We also wanted to share with the county in the cost and the effort required to restore historic buildings. We wanted to serve as a model for other farming communities in Frederick that may choose also to form a district. And finally, we wanted the district to be a point of education for citizens in Frederick about the importance of farming to the county, to its history, and to its future.
For more information, people can visit our website under the Historic Preservation page.
It's time to take a quick break, but we'll be right back in just a couple minutes with more on County Perspective. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Before we learn more about Frederick County Sheriff's Office body camera program, it's time to head on over to the animal shelter to see who this episode's featured pet is.
When Cinnamon first arrived at FCAC, she was quite nervous, but as the weeks went by, she has settled in. She now greets staff and volunteers with a happy full-body wiggle. She enjoys her walks, time in the play yard, and seems to do well with other dogs. Cinnamon is looking for a family who understands it just takes her a little time to warm up to new people, places, and things. To learn more about Cinnamon and our adoption process, call at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center at 301-600-1546.
Law enforcement officers nationwide are deploying body cameras out on the field. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office implemented their own body camera program in February, and so far, it has made it easier for deputies to fulfill their duties. I spoke with a few deputies to find out more on how body cameras really work. Let's check it out. In 2021, the Maryland Police Accountability Act implemented legislation that all county law enforcement agencies performing the police function, as well as the state police, must implement body-worn camera programs by 2025. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office recognized the importance of jump-starting their own body camera program before the set 2025 mandate and started it in 2023.
We started officially on February 27th of this year. By deploying them out in the field to all of our sworn deputies. As of today, we have 127 deployed in use, and then by probably the end of April, we should have roughly about 170 of them. I think us starting ahead of the mandate will be a smooth transition, and we'll kind of work out any kinks before that start date.
The body camera is an extra pair of eyes for the deputy, and it records the majority of the deputy's day out on the field.
Some people may question as far as how they know they're being recorded or not. Typically, on any kind of incident, the deputy's going to inform that person that they're being visually and audibly recorded.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Deputy Town of Frederick County Sheriff's Office. You're being audio and visually recorded. What are you doing here?
And then the body cam itself will make noise and have a light on the front of it as it's actively recording.
So the body cameras have what's called a pre-event buffering, and what that does is it records constantly through the lens. However, it's non-audio. When a deputy goes to turn on their body cam footage, that first 60 seconds of that footage will actually be the buffering stage of that. So it just does spurts of video with non-audio, so that in the event an incident does happen, and say it's a big incident, a big event, that 60 seconds provided of non-audio actually gives you a little bit more and could capture something that maybe a deputy didn't capture before the incident.
Frederick County Sheriff's Office deputies can now utilize their body cameras to assist them in performance reviews, report writing, as well as provide transparency to the public.
So Frederick County citizens can actually benefit a lot, as well as us. It provides transparency. It gives us an opportunity to look at the cameras and see evidentiary-wise, like what it can do for us, what it can provide. It also gives us an opportunity to look back at it training-wise to see maybe what we could do different or what we could do better. The software that we have provides us something to give to citizens, to where if they have evidence that can be put on our cases and anything like that, they can actually go into this particular software and put it on for us. So it just allows us to have a better ease to transition into that.
Deputies say body cameras are here to stay.
Unless something changes with the law, I foresee it lasting.
It is time in the show to find out what activities county divisions and departments are hosting in the next few weeks in this episode's calendar of events. If you'd like to find out more about events, programs, and activities that are going on in the county, visit frederickcountymd.gov. Now before we go, I just wanted to mention a few more things worth noting. Are you looking for a new job? Do you want to try a new career path or need employment? Well, you're in luck, because Frederick County government is hosting its annual job fair on Wednesday, May 3rd from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Prospect Center on 585 Himes Avenue. Frederick County government is always hiring, and chances are we have a job that will fit your skill set. There are openings in Parks and Recreation, animal control, correctional officers, maintenance workers, and more. To find out what county jobs are available, visit frederickcountymd.gov/jobs. Do you know someone who deserves special recognition? Is there an important day others should know about? If you answered yes to either of these questions, you may want to take note of a new service from Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater's office. You can request certificates of recognition or proclamations by emailing recognitions@frederickcountymd.gov. It's a great way to celebrate individuals and occasions that make an impact on our community. Well, everyone, that wraps up this episode of County Perspective. If you want to stay up to date on important news and events going on in the county, follow Frederick County on social media. We'll see you next time with a fresh look from a county perspective. Take care, everybody.